What's up?
What's going on, everybody? Long time no see.
It's been a minute.
It has. It has. It has. Um, we got a lot to fucking cover.
Right?
That being said, let's give it a few minutes, see if we get some people to drift in here, and then we're going to open the floodgates. Real quick, because I know the brown shirts are watching. Uh, Anything we say on here is for entertainment purposes only. Let me reiterate that. Anything we say on here is for entertainment purposes only. If you do not understand that, I haven't got any crayons. Go ask somebody who does. Okay? This is basically some folks here. They're like-minded, discussing current events, voicing opinions. Check your facts. You don't got to take our word for it. I encourage you to do your own research on anything we discuss or say here. We are not trying to incite any form of violence. We're not trying to incite any kind of anarchy. We are not trying to incite anything in any way that could be considered illegal or immoral activity. So if that's what you're looking for, you took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Got anything to add to that, Sax Man?
Nope. Just trying to be free thinkers.
That's it. That is it, brother. Right there. We're going to start off tonight. I think we need to start with 45/47. Somebody trying to take him out. Let's discuss that, and we'll move from there. All right, we got some people piling in. You want to start it off? You want me to, Sax Man?
Go ahead, and I'll write off what you're saying.
Sounds like a plan, brother. All right, we all know that somebody tried to give 46/47 or 45/47 a maternal dirt down, and good Lord was apparently watching over him that day, and we are all thankful for that. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, an independent, a polka dot alien, I don't give a fuck. You don't. When you start killing people behind stuff, that's next level fuckery. Okay? You're now going into a realm where, that's just cold-blooded murder, in my opinion.
It's murder and an existential threat to our democracy.
What he said.
Yeah, except I'll stick republic back there instead of democracy.
Yeah. Copy that. So, that being said, when it first happened, I was out of town. First person to hit me with information was actually my daughter-in-law, who was there with me as we were in separate places. And she was the first one to hit me, and then I started getting hit from multiple people, multiple outlets. And I'm going, what the hell? And of course, where I'm at, my reception sucked ass, so there wasn't a whole lot I could comment on. But as the story has developed, and I've been watching things since all this transpired over the past however many days it's been since somebody tried to give him the eternal dirt now. I've seen some interesting things come out. First and foremost, this wasn't somebody who woke up one morning and said, hey, I'm going to a rally with an AR-15 to wreak havoc. That's not what this was. I think it was premeditated. And I'm not talking about a week or two. This is something that was planned, developed, and initiated. Now, I don't know how far in advance this speaking engagement was planned by President Trump, but What I do know is that some very bizarre things have come to light that make you wonder if either A, somebody on his own team is trying to screw him, or if we've got just some other kind of fuckery going on.
Yeah, the level of incompetence and or collusion is amazing, and it's almost like it's to me it really is like a chimpanzee at the zoo just picking up a big pile of shit and throwing it at you, because I mean you know you're seeing all this play out in real time, and then you're watching the the Secret Service chick get grilled about all this. You know, you don't throw out stupid stuff like it was a slope roof. I mean, you know, unless you're Jean Pierre La Pepuy or whatever the fuck her name is, the the lesbian that talks for the White House.
White House
you-
press secretary.
Yeah,
DEI.
yeah. You don't throw stuff like that out. You know, I mean, at least the CIA was a little bit more, you know, covert about their dealings with JFK. They didn't throw everything out, you know, at one time. Yeah, it is just amazing. And what kills me is I have not seen this. Maybe you have, but and they probably can't say it without getting fired. But at this point, you know, you would say, okay, I'm a patriot instead of a putz. But why nobody else has come out and said, oh yeah, you know, and they may have. Like I said, I have not heard. But you know, yeah, they made us wait. Yeah, we saw them. You know, we had direct instructions not to fire on this person or persons.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Well, let's go back to what we know so far. We know that, and these are where I'm referencing some of the information I've got. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Benny Show. I've got some information from there. A lot of information from Dan Bongino. Various news outlets I've watched, whichever one had information was up to date. So just so you got an idea of where I'm getting some of my information from to help kind of formulate where my mind is. All right, let's start with what we know initially. We know that this kid doesn't really have a manifesto, doesn't really have a social network presence. He shows up with a rifle. Yeah, that we can locate.
Sorry, yeah.
Shows up with a rifle to a Trump rally or speaking engagement, whatever you want to call it. Proceeds to climb on top of a low-lying building that the building he was on, I don't think was but a story high. I don't think it was 2 stories.
No, yeah.
It looks to me like he climbed up onto what looked like a, what do you call it? Like an awning over a walkway.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Like a
makes
little
it-
portico, yeah.
Yeah. So he climbed up on that, then it looks like he got up on the roof from what I saw. Now, if I'm mistaken, please let me know. So he gets up in here and he belly crawls across part of this roof with his rifle. And I've heard it's an AR-15, but I've not seen anything to quantify that. I never got a good look at the rifle he was dragging. I'm just telling you what I know. Well, as this is happening, okay, from what's come out, people on the ground, civilians, saw him, yelled and hollered and carried on, tried to get police attention, law enforcement attention. They did get law enforcement attention, but yet Trump continued to speak and nothing was ever done. Okay. This is what we know what I knew at the time. Okay, at some point, this individual decides it's time for a dirt nap, squeezes off multiple rounds. Not only does he graze 45, 47 in the ear, who, by the grace of God, as I've said, just happened to turn when the shot rang out. But he killed a supporter in the stands behind him, and he wounded 2 others, I believe. Again, if I'm wrong, I apologize. That's what I know right now, as far as from what I've seen, unless I've got my information incorrectly. That being said, okay, so you see always people rushing up, trying to get Trump off the stage, et cetera, et cetera. Now, there was a delay in the sniper team returning fire at this guy, and the person who took the shot was outside of the security perimeter. Now, we got that all out of the way. Okay, this is what we know. You know, Trump went to the local hospital, was treated, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Now, let's get into the finer details of what transpired and what we've come to learn over the course of a few days.
I don't want to be out here.
And speaking of which, Sax, man, do you got anything to add at this point? I don't want to talk over you or dominate here.
No. Yeah. But I got 2 things to point out after you get done with this.
Okay.
After your line of thinking here.
Okay, great. All right, so let's go back to what we know now. We know that from the number of shots that rang out between the sniper team or teams and him, that there has been some speculation that there was another shooter. Okay. I myself, as well as I'm sure some of the other folks here, have seen the footage of the water tower behind this guy. Okay, it's considerably further away. The water tower, while the picture I saw or the video I saw was very grainy because you're trying to zoom in, the top of the water tower has some kind of cylindrical object mounted on the top, whether it's a housing for some kind of valve system or a beacon of some kind, whatever. But you can see something moving around it. Okay, can't see what it is because like I said, the resolution sucks because you're trying to blow it up so big. Is that a person? I don't know. But from a sniper's point of view, and I'm no sniper, this is speculation. Somebody that halfway knows how to deer hunt, okay, could sit up on that and they could easily squeeze off a round. Now, whether they hit the target or not depends on how good they are. If they understand windage and shit like that, yeah, it's possible because it was a clear shot.
Right.
Okay, let's go to the sloped roof. You know, we've heard things, they couldn't get a clear shot because it was a sloped roof. They couldn't pursue him because it was dangerous. It was a sloped roof. I've walked up hills steeper on paved streets.
Yeah.
And it wasn't raining, so it was a metal roof. Most law enforcement wear some form of boot. I guarantee you they would have had plenty of traction and could have easily gotten up there and moved around.
Yeah, I have. There's a mountain that's close to us that I have seen 10-year-olds in not flip flops but sandals, and that's pretty damn steep. And I have seen them walk up that. Yeah. So yeah, a grown ass man could do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. We've also heard that at some point, now again, a lot of conflicting shit here because see, the Secret Service has been throwing the local Leos under the bus. They did that from the start. Okay, we've heard that there was actually an officer that tried to get up there and the shooter turned his weapon on them. The officer retreated.
Right.
Now, again, that was early on. I've not heard anything further from that, which makes me wonder if it was true or not. We've also heard that there was state police trying to get to him, and there was some kind of barricade blocking them from getting to him. I don't know how true that is. We have also heard that if you look, and I was looking at a video today on the Benny Show. I encourage all of you to go look. There's a video of the supposed building that the SWAT team decided to take as their lookout instead of getting on top of the building. So it's on a second floor of an adjacent building to this roof. If you're standing there and you look out of the windows of this building, you can see where the shooter's at. You can see him clearly. And he's less than 100 feet from you. He's probably 50 tops. Okay? So now you kind of see where my mind's going with this. There's a lot of things that failed, but there's a lot of things that weren't in place. There was no aerial surveillance. Okay? None.
Yeah.
The perimeter was shut very, very limited. There's rumors that, all the people you saw running to cover Trump, they weren't even Secret Service. They were another government entity pulled to cover security. A bunch of desk jockeys.
Well, it looked like it.
Well, when you see a chick reaching for her weapon, trying to put it back in her retention holster and she can't find it,
yeah,
that's reassuring. That's who I want around me with a loaded city.
I was going to say that shows you right there that person has taken it out maybe 2 or 3 times in their entire career.
Well,
but they've never practiced, taking it out, shooting
where's
it.
the muscle memory? Fucking
yeah,
A.
exactly.
I know. Look, I understand. I've never stepped foot in combat or any situation like that, so I get it. I'm Monday night quarterbacking, whatever. But the level of training Secret Service gets, I find it hard to believe that if those were Secret Service agents, that was a travesty.
Yeah.
And if they weren't Secret Service agents, that's even a bigger travesty, because here's the thing. You got federal employees that are armed, running around in public, supposed to be in a position of protection for people, and they're that haphazard and incompetent.
Well, you know what? That brings to mind maybe that some of those crew that during the Obama administration, they could be Postal Service employees. They have their own police force.
They could be IRS employees.
They could be IRS employees, and it's not even a joke. It's funny.
They can be treasury.
It's stupid, yeah, but that could very well be those folks.
But we've established that whoever's doing security detail there was inept. Okay?
Right.
Now, when they kept trying to ask Cheadle about was anything denied, and she kept running in circles, I truly believe she sat down with Skamala that morning to go over how to lie. Because she didn't answer any questions. She dodged them. Or if she did say anything, it probably was fabricated or lied. I don't trust anything came out of that Dorito guard's mouth.
No.
The whole problem I've got is that if this had been anyone else running for a presidential position, because this isn't just a former president, this is a presidential nominee, somebody who's trying to run for president.
Yeah.
It makes me think that there's a lot more going on deep state-ish. Because, as far as I can recall, they refused to give RFK any Secret Service.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't like the guy, but
no,
they refused to give him service after his house was broken into twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they really kind of. I mean, if you're wanting to get rid of the competition, not giving them security detail is a great way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can read into that whatever you want to.
Yeah. Now, that being said, let's go back to some other things we've discovered. We know that this kid has some kind of direct, indirect affiliation with BlackRock. Okay?
Yeah.
That should scare the living shit out of anybody who's got more than 30 IQ points. Not only that,
the director resigned.
but not only that, but if you go back and look, there were some other things, like there was some phones that were traced from within a block of the FBI. Now, think this through.
Mm-hmm.
Not just one phone, multiple phones were traced from a block from the FBI in DC to this guy's house, to this guy's job. Not once, multiple times.
Right.
Okay, I'm a firm believer in where there's smoke, there's fire. Okay? Do the phones go directly to the FBI building? No, they don't. But they go to some very mysterious, very suspicious places. Like, guess what? There was a phone that actually went to the location of said shooting days before.
Imagine that.
And then went dead. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you got one or two things going on here. You can call me conspiracy theorist, whatever you want to, but let's go down the list here. All right. Either A, somebody was in direct contact with this kid, and this is another Uvalde situation. Okay.
Right.
Or B, they had this kid under some kind of surveillance and dropped the fucking ball.
I got another one for you.
Enlighten me, brother.
Okay. So, all right. You remember how Kennedy was, after Bay of Pigs?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you know what? I just want to get rid of the CIA. I'd dismantle it, or at least gut it. Which the CIA did not like that,
Oh.
and just Google JFK and you'll find the conspiracy theories there about he and the CIA. Now, if you're a presidential candidate that has already said, a lot of federal government agencies need to be either shut down or gutted and restarted,
Mm-hmm.
and you're in fear for your job or your power, not necessarily, but it's the power, right?
Yeah, it's the power.
Yeah. And I'm not going to get us dinged. So you can, take that ball and run with it in your head as to what the motivation is for people in power in CIA, FBI, you name any three-letter agency that the federal government controls, and boom, there you go.
FDA.
Exactly. I mean, my thinking, and this is me. This is my thinking. We already know that the DOJ has been weaponized.
Right.
Okay. We know that half the people in power are either DEI or political hires from the Biden crime family or his affiliates. You can do your math however you want to with that. I don't care.
Right.
So that being said, it's all or nothing. Once they get on that government teat, they don't want to let go because they like that free flowing money and insider trading, all that good shit they get.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how else can you explain the former Dorito protector being her net worth over $10 million now. Explain that to me,
Yeah.
because I'm dumbfounded. How do you go? And I get it. She was a Secret Service person before she went to protect Doritos. That's fine.
Correct.
So, that being said, then she goes to work protecting Doritos globally. I guess there's a lot of global Dorito thefts. And then she's suddenly a DAI hire for riding crime family. So you bring her in, you put her in charge of the damn Secret Service, and she's got a net worth of $10 million.
Right.
How the fuck did that happen?
Just hard work, man.
Yeah, okay. All right. Getting them good bonuses for covering shit up, huh? Oh,
Absolutely.
excuse me. I'm sorry, not covering shit up. Things accidentally omitted.
Yeah.
We'll say that. So my thinking is like this. They hate Trump. The left hates him. They absolutely hate him. So they tried to get him on his corruption nonsense. And that kind of fell apart on them. Now, if they could pack the Supreme Court, they'd have it. But they haven't been able to do that. So that didn't work. So they tried to go at it. You've had a few people try to push the whole thing. Well, if you're a felon, you can't have Secret Service protection. Why do you think they didn't want him to have Secret Service protection? It's not rocket science, people.
Yeah. No.
So, you know they want to take his protection away from him. There's only one reason why you want to take Secret Service protection from someone. You want them vulnerable physically. Right. You want their family vulnerable. Okay? That's next level fuckery.
Yeah.
All right? So this is how deep they're going to go. All right? They couldn't get traction with that. So that's true, Hillbilly. They were probably hoping to go to prison and get Epstein, but surely they weren't that fucking naive. So that being said, we've seen this before to push agendas. We've seen bizarre shit happen where people have showed up at mass casualty events or done some next level fuckery that's just heinous. And there's questions. Like, I want to know, okay, if this kid was working, where was he working? Okay. What kind of money was this kid making? What kind of education? I know he was a college student. Where did he get the firearm from?
Yeah, usually that pops out pretty quick.
Well, see, that raises more questions. So, where did he get the money to buy an AR? What type of AR it was? Because these things matter. These details matter. Just like the dude in Uvalde, and I won't get too far in the weeds with this, but he had an AR-15. Most people that are aficionados with modern carbines can't afford.
Right.
And he was a half-ass employee of what, a Wendy's?
Yeah, I mean, $15 an hour.
Yeah, and you're going to tell me he went off and bought a damn Daniel Defense AR-15 loaded.
Right.
Horse shit. There's things that happened that we've seen in the past with other situations that just don't add up. And it's like no one ever wants to carry the fucking water and do the investigating to find out what really is behind it. And the reason they don't is because I truly believe it's going to uncover something they can't cover back up.
Right.
So I think with this whole situation here, I think it was you can't tell me that this many law enforcement officials were this fucking inept. because it wasn't just the Secret Service. It was what other government agencies were there. It was the state police. It was the fucking FBI. It was the however many local municipalities. And you're going to tell me all of them dropped the fucking ball.
Oh, yeah. And you and I both know we have been to functions where there were literally less than 500 people total that, pro whatever and against whatever. And you had state police, you had undercover cops, you had local police, and you had a drone that was as big as a fucking car in the air, static, watching the entire time. And that was just at a local function. And you don't do that for somebody who has been and probably will be the next president of the United States.
I'm just saying. I mean, it just seems to me that, and here's the other thing that we know. There are texts from different tactical units where there was chatter back and forth about what to do with this guy, or there was a threat. And what happened to that?
Yeah.
So there's just so much. And, Demon brings up a good point. I want you to take point on that and give us your opinion on that, Sax Man.
Oh, well, yeah. So, okay. So if you are doing a coup, I'll say that right there, and you don't want the person in power, and you try to delete them, and it doesn't work, and you know that you cannot win with who you're going to run against. And some people have seen it since day one. But you know that your candidate's not going to win. And 18 hours before he decided that he was, going to, step up and take one for the country and not run again, he was adamant about, I'm staying in the race. Okay. So what do? You shut him up. You're going to have to coerce him into doing something he doesn't want to do. And now you have an Indian and whoever wants to run with her that's going to lose. They think, you're probably going to have some, white liberal women who will vote for Kamala, but that's really about it. But yeah, I totally agree with Demon in the fact that I think it's orchestrated, the whole thing. And it's the same people. But, okay. And also, I just want to point this out too. If you're anybody that watched the news the day of and the day after the Trump thing, right? I just don't want to say the word, but the Trump event, and you saw what a lot of left-wing state-run media here in the States were saying, oh, he fell. Oh, he got rushed out because he tripped behind the podium. If that doesn't right there tell you that your media is so left-leaning that, there are no words, man. It's just right there in your face. And now also you have the same Secret Service that failed him saying, hey, President Trump, maybe don't do your outdoor things anymore. Just do indoor stuff that we can, surveil better. That right there is, to me, kind of, basically saying, just give up. Just do indoor stuff. Don't do your big rallies. Because surely they're not that inept. I mean, really.
Well, you know, they're kind of, the Democratic Party has become kind of insane in the membrane. Sorry, but they honestly believe, A, their shit don't stink and they can do anything. And people are supposed to just roll over. It's like I was walking through a Walmart today, the scourge of department stores, or stores, whatever you want to call them. And there's this chick going down through there, and her shirt said, "It's about time we had a black woman in the White House." Well, you already have one with a tuckable. Wasn't impressed. And this chick ain't white. I mean, it ain't black.
No.
I hate to tell you that, but she's a mutt at best. Okay? And look, I don't care what color your skin is, what nationality you are, creed, whatever. I don't care. Just be a decent human being. You know? You don't have to agree with my opinion. You don't have to agree with Saxman's opinion. We can have a educated discussion about our differing views. But don't start this bullshit of screaming and hollering because you don't want to hear truth. You know, if you're going to talk to people who have more than 20 IQ points, you need to kind of be able to take the constructive criticism. But that being said, I digress. It seems convenient to me, you know, we were talking about this, you know, just days after this all happens, all of a sudden, Biden's in the Biden bunker. He's got COVID. Now, this is the same motherfucker that's got on national TV. If you get vaccinated, you won't get the coof.
All right.
You won't get it. All right. Either, well, a couple scenarios. Either A, he's full of shit, which he probably is. B, somebody's pouring the coof into his fucking Kool-Aid. Or C, he lives in a damn lab somewhere with coof sitting in petri dishes everywhere because nobody catches it this much. Knock on wood. All right.
Yeah.
We just lost our feed.
Did we? I'm still alive.
Yes, we did. Sure as shit.
Huh, it says live on my side.
It's gone on mine. Unless we got a commercial. It's gone, dude. Hold on.
Demon says we're still up.
All right, I guess my computer had Tourette's. I apologize. I don't know what the fuck that was. Okay, so anyways, going back to what we were saying. The whole thing to me is he gets the coof, goes to Biden bunker. Then you get this letter. Now let's take apart this letter for a minute. It's not on White House letterhead.
All right.
The signature's underlined, which means it was underlined for Bedshitter to sign. Okay? So he didn't write it. We know now that his staff didn't find out about it until it was already on X.
Yeah.
Okay? And one of his staffers or somebody helped prepare the letter. We know that. We know that I think it's his brother came out and said he may have a terminal illness. Yeah, it's called fucktardism. And so all these things allow them to remove him. This is basically a Democratic coup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay? This allowed them to remove him from it without Article 25 in his ass and making it look like they're fighting, because they are. There was infighting. This was to prevent the infighting. They removed him this way so they could turn around and install Kamala. All right? Because Biden's too arrogant to step down on his own. So what's happening now, you know, there's already talk about how she shouldn't be able to, like if Biden suddenly is MIA or he dies or whatever, I know I'm going to get some flack for this. I don't wish death on anybody, right? As much as I can't stand this detestable piece of shit that's sitting in the White House, I don't wish death on him.
No.
But what I will say is, I do hope that he gets the full measure of the good Lord's might when his day comes.
Right.
That being said, if something was to happen to him, then she's automatically going to go in the place of president, and the speaker is going to be the VP, which would be Mike Johnson, which would be interesting. And so that creates a lot of friction there, because you've got a Republican speaker that's the VP, and Skamala is effectively 47. She becomes 47. Even if she's only in there for 2 months, she is effectively 47th president of the United States. As scary as that is and disgraceful. Think of the dumb shit this stupid bitch can do just in a weekend. I mean, did anybody see where she's talking about tomorrow's today, tomorrow, tomorrow's today, today, tomorrow. She got so fucking confused at the dumb shit she was spouting. She was just like caught in an infinite loop. Looked like a retard.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going, this is the best you motherfuckers have got? This?
Well, the good thing about that is maybe people could actually see how inept, because, you know, for the past 4 years, other than, you know, sound bites and stuff that we really don't get to see a whole lot of on big national venues, is because she does stuff like that. Just how
You went out.
do what?
You went out. You cut out on my end.
Oh. No, I'm just saying, basically, yeah, you know, the whole country would get to see how inept she is, you know, up close and personal.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, okay. Let's say that she gets the nomination. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to get her in the headspace if she's the nominee, so they can start campaigning for her, because otherwise they've got 2 months.
Yeah.
That's an awfully bad pill to fucking have to get people to swallow in 2 months. All right. So they're going to want to stretch that shit out as far as they possibly can to try and enlist more voters, or, you know, fallen comrades of previous wars.
Right.
And, you know, it is what it is. They're going to, I mean, I truly believe the whole shooting at Trump, I think there's a lot more to it and a lot more next level fuckery involved than what we're being told. Because any other time there had been a shooting, you wouldn't have been able to get away from it. It'd have been on the 24 fucking hour news cycle for a month.
Exactly. It was like nothing 3 days later.
Nope. Because it doesn't fit their fucking narrative.
And how scared are you, if you are a 3-letter agency, that if Trump comes, you know, if he gets elected,
I know what that was.
Yeah, what he's going to do, you know, if he's in power.
Yep. Well, you know, I've heard that Trump has said he's not going to retaliate. He's a better man than me. For all the people they've fucked and done dirty and weaponized the DOJ, there would be people, I would have a list of people that were going to have a fucking MRAP parked in their living room day one.
Yeah, there's a big difference between one man trying to get revenge and one man trying to bring justice where there has not been in the past couple of decades. Okay. Every time that the left and the right have pulled shit like this,
Yep.
They're not just doing it towards a political candidate, they're doing it to us.
The American people.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like I said, there would be a fucking MRAP parked in living rooms across the country. There would be people getting their shit turned upside down. Peace, Hillbilly. Good to see you, brother. And there would be people getting prosecuted and having the rectal exam of a lifetime.
Oh, yeah, it should be one big, giant come to Jesus meet.
And I would march my ass over to fucking D.C. and all those patriots that got railroaded on January 6th, pardon. Oh, you busted the window, time served. Pardon. Oh, wait, you sat in Pelosi's chair? Here. I'm going to go ahead and add you to the cabinet. Pardon. That's the first thing I do as a president. Because now, if they went in there trying to set fire to something or hang somebody or whatever, and I'll tell you another motherfucker they need to track down and run his ass up in a tree is that piece of shit that shot that veteran on January 6th.
Oh, absolutely.
Michael Bird's ass needs to find him a big ass rock to get up under and like get off the fucking grid if I was president.
Right.
Now, real quick, I'm not making any threats. I'm saying if I was President Trump, all right, so all you brown shirts that just sneezed your fucking lattes and dropped your damn whatever rice cake you were fucking eating or Hot Pocket, calm the fuck down because I didn't make a threat.
I am kind of surprised, though, they haven't, commissioned a statue of him to sit where, what was his name? Oh, shit, they've taken so many founding fathers out of the rotunda.
Mm-hmm.
But he is a liberal saint. So
yeah.
I'm kind of surprised that he's not in the rotunda right now.
Well, they need to go and make one of him, and then when Trump gets in office, he's a hauling motherfucker off and have it melted.
Right.
Make it into manhole covers. Something. I mean, just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where do we want to go from here? Oh, wait. More fuckery is afoot, folks. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention, but there's been an officer-involved shooting recently in Illinois, if I remember correctly. This is what I've gathered from the news reports and what I've watched. Because, they've been they tried this bullshit when the Republican National Convention. Somebody had a knife so many blocks away, and they tried to make it, racially motivated, this, that, and other, started marching and carrying a bunch of bullshit. So this woman got shot by the police. On the body cam footage, there's 2 officers in there. There's some woman sitting on her couch talking to them about, I don't know if it's about a vehicle or somebody snooping around her house or what it was, but she's got a pot of water on the stove. One of the police officers tells her to go check on that. So she gets up to go get that. Well, she decides that she's going to go full David and Goliath with it and try to sling it on the police officer. So she picks up this pot of water. Barney Fife nuts up, has his weapon drawn, says, he starts cursing, says, I'll fucking shoot you, this, that, and the other. Feared for his life. She puts the water back down from what I see, but then she reaches for it again. He lights her up. Okay, now, I don't know all the facts. It's just what I saw from being an onlooker. We already know they're trying to run gun control again because, of the shit that happened to Trump. They don't give a fuck if he died. They, that's irrelevant, but it gives them opportunity to run gun control. Now they're trying to push this whole Black Lives Matter bullshit. And I'm not saying that Black lives don't matter, all lives matter. Just saying. It's not limited to one skin tone.
Right.
Black child, white child, brown, whatever you want to call them. Everybody's life matters. To me, my opinion, and again, I'm not a cop, he overreacted. He should have popped her ass with a taser. If he was that fucking threatened, taser, restrain her, call 911 to deal with the burns on her, because she's going to be burned dropping water on her house shoes.
Oh yeah.
But there was no need to kill her. Now, I digress. I'm quarterbacking this shit after the fact. I don't know all the facts. This is my personal opinion from the facts I've been presented. He overreacted. There was no need to use lethal force. Now, again, there may be something that comes out that justifies it, but fuck if I know what it is. And also from what I'm understanding, the other officer that was with him was trying to call for EMS or render aid, and this officer was telling him she's already gone when he needed.
Yeah.
That just looks bad all the way around.
Right.
Yeah, there was. Now, granted, this chick wasn't fully there because she was talking about Jesus had told her to do this, that, and other. I don't have the exact verbiage in front of me, but she started ranting, and I don't think she was on her meds. So there was that going on.
Mm-hmm.
But this all goes back to address the whole mental health thing. If that's the case, this continuously is becoming a problem where somebody who's not wired good, the squirrels have gotten in the attic, and they're doing crazy shit and losing their lives behind it, but it's the law enforcement's fault, or it's the bystanders' fault, or whoever defended themselves.
Right.
Now, I'm not making an excuse for the law enforcement by any means, but I'm saying we've seen this time and time again that proper checks and balances are not in place to address these mental illnesses.
Well, yeah. I mean, once the big outcry of, putting people in mental health asylums, there was good parts to that and bad parts to that. But once they stopped doing that, and now they wonder why, you have this huge uptick of there's nowhere to put them. So, yeah, you're going to have more incidences of people using guns, people using knives, people using hammers, forks, whatever. But you're going to have more instances of unchecked mental illness out there. But it's a great tool for people that want to disarm you to use against you.
Yeah, well, Demon brings up a good point. Law enforcement do not have the training to be psych counselors.
No.
They're there to protect and serve, not counsel, not hold your hand, not buy you a sandwich. No, they're there to protect and serve. Period. Okay? They're not trained in that capacity and shouldn't be put in that capacity and shouldn't be regarded to have to be in that capacity. Now, if they roll up on you and you're sitting there and you're babbling or, eating soap or, talking about chasing toasters on your bicycle, then maybe they need to take you somewhere for a 24-hour hold.
Yeah.
But the problem is you got to have somewhere to take them. So I agree with Demon. They need better training to identify markers of mental health issues, whether it's PTSD, whether it's Bidenism, whatever. Okay? That way they can better ascertain what they're dealing with. I mean, the woman getting killed was a travesty, in my opinion, as I said. Lethal force was not required. They could have, it was apparent that some wiring wasn't right when she was
Right.
saying what she was saying. Okay. So you decide to draw your service weapon and ventilate her ass in the whip. That makes sense.
Yeah, no.
You know. And the other thing is too, from what I'm understanding, not only did they do this, but then the family, they held back information of what happened. They tried at first to say, now again, I read this. This is secondhand, so go do your own damn research. Don't be blaming me. Something about at first, the officers on the scene were saying, well, it may have been a neighbor she was having a dispute with and shot her. Then there was something said about something else. And they didn't find out until way after the fact there was actually one of the responding officers that did it.
Right.
Now, he's been charged and he's locked up, which is good. But as long as shit like this happens, the left is going to use it as fuel.
Oh, absolutely.
And it just makes the battle that much more difficult.
It would be interesting to see how long. Like I said, I had just heard little snippets about this, but it would be interesting to see how long he's been a cop. You know, what kind of training he had. I don't know. This was in Chicago,
Somewhere around Chicago. I don't have the exact
and
article in front of me, so I don't want to say incorrectly. It was
Yeah.
somewhere in northern Illinois, if I remember correctly. Right there in the PRI.
right. And I don't know if they're, you know, what they're training, if it's like, you know, Texas or Georgia or Louisiana, where they have to, you know, you get commissioned through the state, and I don't know. It would be interesting to see when it all comes out.
Absolutely. Well, I don't want to run this over an hour because I know Vanguard's got his hands full. So we'll start trying to wrap this up. If we're able to do one Thursday, we will. And I'm sure there'll be more fuckery to discuss at length. I appreciate everybody coming to hang out with us tonight. I apologize for the off and on hiatus. We've just had some issues and I've been out of town. But I'm back. Hopefully we'll keep the ball rolling. And, you know, what I'm going to tell each and every one of you, if you aren't already doing it, you need to, A, get involved in the election process, whether you're a poll watcher, something. Get involved. Don't just sit in your house and bitch. Okay? Be part of the solution, not part of the problem. You can be a poll watcher and catch some shady shit going down, and if you get it on video, kind of hard to dispute it.
Right.
I know there was video stuff before, but we've got to be diligent here. We got to be vigilant. If we're not, that's how we're going to lose this. Okay? I mean, they tried to take 47 out, and it kind of blew up in their face. Well, somebody did. And it blew up in their face because of it, because whether it was an inside job or it was just some nut job that said, hey, I want to give him a dirt nap. The point being, it elevated him into the spotlight in a way where if anything else happens, things go pear-shaped real fast.
Right.
And something else, there's two things I predict going into this election cycle. A, look for some kind of event to transpire at the DNC, either inside or outside. And look, if Trump wins, if he gets elected, look for a true insurrection in January.
Yeah.
You can take those two things to the bank.
Yep. There will be crying and gnashing of teeth.
Oh, it'll be more than that. They'll be showing fire.
Yep.
So I'm just saying. All right, I'm sorry. Got another rant there. I apologize. The floor is yours, my brother.
I think you just summed everything up pretty good. Yeah, just get involved and be vigilant. Be aware of where you're at, who you're with, and what's going on for the next little while. Because this isn't the last of. We got a few more months.
Yep.
So that's what I got, man.
All right, brother. Well, again, everybody, thank you for being here. Stay safe. Pray for the country. And let's keep our eyes on the prize. November's not far away. So that being said, we'll see you on the flip side. God willing, we'll be back Thursday. Good night, everybody.
Night.